The smartwatch I've spent the last few weeks with, and probably currently the best sports smartwatch with AMOLED screen that you can buy at the price of around $100, Amazfit Verge Lite. Hey everyone, how are you doing? My name is Michael and warm welcome to the Tech Verge channel, the place where we inspect cool tech. And you know, that's a challenge, to be a YouTuber presenting new cool tech all the time and to still get this buzz and excitement and adrenaline when you're unboxing something new, you know, something that you have been waiting for a few weeks. No, that doesn't happen very often, unfortunately, with me any longer, at least after I started the channel. But, you know, at least help me to sense these occasions where cool tech does matter. I'm not going to say that the Amazfit Verge Lite is the absolutely best smartwatch that you can buy right now, because obviously it is not, but it's one of these devices that gave me this great feeling of using and actually went far beyond my initial expectations. In fact, I was pretty reserved when I was exploring the original Amazfit Verge a few months ago and was somehow reluctant to test the Lite because I didn't expect it to be good enough. But I'm happy to say that it is a very capable device, although with a rather strange and not too premium looking design. And the closest rivals on the market, as I see it, are the Honor Magic Watch and the Watch GT, both manufactured by Huawei. We're going to get to the details in just a moment, but as a summary, it is a not too smart, but very well working with buttery smooth operation, very good AMOLED screen, an outstanding battery life, really great battery life. For about 20 days it can hold a single charge. And I've been using this for almost 20 days, so I'll talk about my affair, and of course I'll let you know about the hardware specifications, the build quality. We'll talk about the software and navigation, the smartphone app, and pretty much everything that really matters about the Verge Lite. Let's begin with the whole package and get a sense of what you will receive in case of a purchase. I'm adding the original Verge model as a baseline, which has more computing power, costs about $150. You're gonna notice that the unboxing experience is great because of the plastic nature of the watch, feeling not too premium, but still way above the average. All that we get, besides the watch, the charging dock with a cable, the user guide, that's essentially it. The watch is made out of plastic with silicone strap, not irritating to the skin even after continuous usage. I've had it 24/7 for quite some time, no issues at all. Dimensions are the same as the original Amazfit Verge. The color is lighter though. There also is an entirely white version, which in my opinion is the best looking option. The 43mm dial is big enough to be well visible, with resolution of 360 by 360 pixels of the 1.3-inch AMOLED screen. Covered by Gorilla Glass, it promises scratch resistance. On the back you can see the sensors. The embedded battery inside should last up to 20 days, and I can confirm that this battery life is for real. And that includes notifications all the time, sports from time to time, and that with GPS on, Bluetooth on. I use it for the phone unlock feature with the MIUI, testing a few Xiaomi devices, and there was continuous daily usage. And it easily lasted around 18 days. On top of that, there's a dedicated battery safe mode, which could extend the battery life even more by disabling most of the other features, but it would have taken me a few more weeks to find this out. There's quite a secrecy surrounding the CPU, and while the exact model is not disclosed, it's likely a power-efficient basic processor, similar to the one used by Honor for their GT series. On the side there's only one button, labeled as Home, and the rest of the navigation happens from the touchscreen. Build quality is good, fits well on the wrist. Concerning the modes and the features and the so-called apps, there are really a lot, so let's explore them together. We're starting with the swipe actions. Swipe down for quick menu, swipe up to get to the apps, swipe left for steps count, swipe right to see the heart rate information. Most of the must-have smartwatch apps are here: heart rate, workouts, activity summary, weather application, reminders, alarm, and so on. There's a stopwatch and a countdown timer. At first sight, nothing too fancy, but if we take a look at the heart rate information, it's quite nicely represented with visibility of average values and maximums and minimums, and the graphic chart is a great way of visualization. You have no access to advanced feature, meaning, for example, if you think of typing with the keyboard to respond to a message, no, there's no way to do it because there's no virtual keyboard embedded. And among the few things that you can configure in terms of customization, for example, the hardware button, you could specify what the long press activity is doing. I think by default it's actually starting a running exercise. There's a sort of water protection, and while the watch is IP68 waterproof, looks like it's not recommended for swimming. I was also unable to find a swimming mode among the sports listed as part of the exercises: running, walking, treadmill, and a few others. Those that are performed outdoors can enable the GPS function, which is accurate and locks rather quickly. I was disappointed to not see a dedicated football or soccer mode, but it is what it is. While the bigger brother of this one supports waypoints and possibly loading, for example, cycling tracks, over here the operating system is different, much more primitive, and the Lite edition does not support addition of any waypoints. Quite unfortunately, I have to say. Actually, in terms of software, it feels more like Mi Band 4 or maybe the Amazfit Core 2 on steroids. And yeah, here's another common thing between the mentioned suspects: the smartphone app. While Xiaomi are on their way to probably merge both, they still maintain two separate smartphone apps for their wearables depending on the model. The basic ones, like the Mi Band, the Amazfit Verge Lite and so on, they are managed by Mi Fit, and the Stratos, the Pace, the original Verge and the new GTR are managed by the Amazfit app. In fact, the latest update of the Amazfit app supports both the Mi Band and the Verge Lite. So if you've ever used the Mi Band before, perfect. It will be an easy to recognize software, easy to set up, easy to use, much cleaner and more fluid than what it used to be. The smartphone app is a great aggregator for information, and you can create your entire fitness schedule based on the findings from the app. The main screen is showing a summary, and if you want to closely inspect your sleep quality, just tap on the section and explore. Here's a look at the heart rate data. You have everything in details, and you have historical analysis of previous days as well. Here's an example of how sports activities look like. You get the data about your heart rate. It's easy to make analysis about the intensity, and the GPS data is an awesome addition. Helped me a lot to calculate the range of a few scooters I was testing and reviewing in the meanwhile. After these few weeks of usage, I can say that the Amazfit Verge Lite is a pretty good device. I liked it a lot. It has a very good display, it has decent battery life, excellent performance of the operating system. Unfortunately, it still looks like a child's toy. You know, this kind of plastic design is weird. A lot of people have asked me, is this a watch that you're testing for your son? And that kind of question made me feel a little awkward. In fact, there's an entirely white version, which I already mentioned, and I think it looks much more stylish and probably could attract enthusiastic young people. But if your primary goal is to get a smartwatch, and to get a metal design waterproof rating for swimming, better keep looking somewhere else. I've actively tested almost any available function and they all worked good. The vibration is decent, the timers are very useful. Pity that there is no way to set the seconds on the countdown timer. The torch is surprisingly good. There's an ambient sensor on the display, so the screen brightness is well maintained. One big remark though, it is on the software side. Cyrillic alphabet not shown at all. I expect this to be fixed with some of the next updates, but nothing that appeared during the time of testing, unfortunately. So if you receive a text in a language different to English, it's likely going to look like that. Summary time, okay? Clearly this thing was designed to be competition to the Watch GT and the Honor Magic because of its simplicity, reliability, long battery life, and it costs around $100. And the smartwatches manufactured by Huawei are slightly more expensive, but they give you waterproof for swimming protection, as well as metal design, which for more people would be perceived as a reasonably built smartwatch. And maybe it would be good to hear from you. Have you ever owned one of these? Do you consider it to be a real smartwatch, or it feels more like a fitness tracker? Let me know, comments are right below the video. Also a big thanks to the European division of AliExpress, who was so kind to help me get this test unit. And I've managed to get you a good discount if you decide to buy this one. You can find it in the description below the video. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm Michael, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day.